Welcome, welcome, welcome to this February 24th, 25th full moon. The ice moon. I know I missed last month. It was a very emotional and very heavy karmic cycle. I don't know if any of y'all felt it, but I know I did, and it just wasn't a good time to be sharing. At least not trying to do this kind of stuff while going through what I was going through. I still built something. It was kind of interesting, but very karmic. And that energy is very, very heavy energy. Where do you go? Choo choo choo. All right. And following a very heavy karmic cleansing, changing, shifting cycle, we're going straight into this kind of interplay of the healing between the divine masculine and feminine, and like turning it into this dance, if you will. Because getting ready for this build was honestly not that fun, because some of these stones that we're working with work very well together, which is a good thing. Unless you're going through some of this stuff, then it's very unpleasant because it goes kind of straight to the source. And so before we go too much further, let's get this all started. First and foremost, as we always do, we start with our directions: the east, the wind, the search of knowledge, the sense of freedom, all the things that fly in the air, to the ethereals, to just all the things that move us, that breathe life into us. That is what we are calling in with the east. Then to the south, to the fire, just a flame of creation and passion, destruction, of light and heat. We would not be able to survive if it wasn't for the fire. It is our drive, it is our motivation. And we bring that in full force from the south. To our west, to the earth, to beneath our feet, to all the things provided to us by nature, from nature, all the things that have lived, and all the things that will come, all who have been, are, and will be, and everything that has been started and then failed or stopped, the incomplete, because even though it may not have been finished in one concept, it may have been done in another. With that prosperity, that abundance, that bounty, that's what we're bringing in with the west. Then to the north, to the water, to emotion, to wisdom, to that ever-flowing life blood, that without water, life would not be, at least not life that we know it. We bring that in from the north. And we call upon Mother Earth herself to protect us, to guide us, to fill us with the love and peace we need to create the life in which we wish to have. And then up to our Creator in the sky, the Father, our universe, the thing that made life so by existing in the first place. That which guides us and leads us and gives us that sense of individuality while being part of a whole. That higher self, that higher being. Bring all of that in. Then lastly, to the here, to the now. There is no past, there is no future. There is only right in this moment. For what we are doing changes and influences everything to the next moment. And from that, we need to ever stay present, because it's what we see and what we witness in these present moments that truly matter. I mean, you're here with me, watching me do this. Okay, so first and foremost, I really don't know how I'm going to start this one because it's punchy in both a good way and a bad way. So I'm going to I'm just going to go through what we're working with and then go into building. I think it might be a little easier for me that way. So first off, something we all know, we've all seen before, but rose quartz. It's very simple, very rudimentary in the stone world. It is quartz, it's silicon dioxide. It's got a hardness of 7, a vibration of 7. It's trigonal in formation. The pink in it that creates its impurities. Not exactly sure what it is. It's probably some form of iron or some kind of metal. And unlike most quartzes, you usually will not find rose quartz in a point just because of how and where it forms. It's usually in between other stones. It doesn't really create the pockets that things like amethyst, smoky quartz, and regular quartz might do. But rose quartz is very obviously a heart stone. It is a stone of unconditional love and peace. If you're doing any kind of heart healing, this is great because it's all about self-love and like that universal acceptance of just love and peace in your life for yourself as well as for others. But yeah, rose quartz, very simple, very straightforward. Big centerpiece. Next is something a little more punchy. It's also a pink stone. This one is Morganite. Let me see if I can get some kind of a light around here. Yeah. And Morganite, instead of being a quartz, is a beryl. So it is related to your emeralds, your aquamarine, your helidor, bixbyite, and with those energies, it's kind of faster, it's smoother, it's a little bit more intense than the normal, like a quartz would be, because it's harder, therefore it's faster. Morganite is a love attractor. It encourages loving thoughts and actions and helps to create the space to do so as well as to enjoy life. It helps to release karmic pain and unfulfilled emotions and soul needs into our awareness. Um, helps us to recognize escape tactics, closed-mindedness, ego blocking, and spiritual um, attachment. So with that, you can see how these two stones together are going to do a whole lot of heart work. It's going to be really moving that emotional center. And because of the pink and everything like that they really work towards, they're very feminine in that energy. And particularly that of the divine feminine, so that nurture, that healer, that mother energy, the caretaker, that the lover. Like, so it's all like very compressed and put these two together, and it's like straight up divine feminine energy. And by itself is really nice. It's kind of lovely and peaceful and calming. But then you come over here and you grab these guys. Here's where the masculine comes in. This is golden labradorite. Like, oh, this is a really intense light. But look at that. This is your labradorite, but it's only that has a gold color and sheen to it. It's completely translucent, so you can see through it. It's so potent because it has your typical labradorite qualities of being protective, transformative, and just tapping into magic itself. But golden labradorite, being that gold color, yellow, puts it right into the solar plexus as well as the third eye. And what it does predominantly is helps you to, it's a stone for the right use of will. So it helps you to pull you away from undue influences and attachments that might negatively sway your opinions in directions that aren't true to who you are. And it's like, you know, how other people think and feel and believe. And it's like, well, those aren't my thoughts, but you put those into consideration when making decisions. Where this comes in and is like, are those things that you're like taking into consideration, is it actually to help them, or is it because they've been manipulating you your whole life? Or are they trying to feed off of a codependency? And like, are you enabling anything? Like, this will help you see that and break through it. It's that like divine masculine sense of confidence and strength, and kind of that sense of independence. So it's like you have this very potent, very fiery masculine energy, which is going to get paired with pyrite, a stone we're all probably very familiar with. It's an iron sulfate. It's an excellent shield for blocking out negative energy and pollutants. It prevents energy leakage from the physical body and helps deflect harm, providing a protecting the subtle and physical bodies. It's a stone that helps to balance out masculine energy. So those who have the lower sense of self-confidence and self-worth, this will actually help to bolster and boost them up, give them that sense of confidence and strength of self. But at the same time, those who have a very aggressive, like toxic masculine outlook, this stone is very irritating because they can't handle a true sense of self-confidence that isn't fueled by negative stereotypes or belief systems. Because like this isn't going to bolster you from falsitudes. It's going to bolster you from like, hey, you're actually fucking worth it. And you don't need all this external bullshit. You know, it's called fool's gold for a reason. Because, you know, a fool thinks it's got much higher value, that this is where the value comes from. But the gold that it has to teach you is from yourself. You are the gold worth having. And to bring this into kind of a bigger flow to help bridge those two masculine and feminine stones together, we'll be using this. This is Galena. It's a lead sulfate. I don't recommend licking this. Lead poisoning isn't fun. But Galena is a stone of harmony that helps to create balance on all levels, harmonizing the physical, etheric, and spiritual planes. And within that harmony, the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. It's a very grounding stone that helps to anchor the soul into this incarnation, centering it within yourself. It helps to open the mind, expanding ideas, dissolving self-limitations and mental assumptions from the past. So what this is going to help to do is it's going to help to bring forth and balance the divine masculine and feminine energies that are going to be pulled in with this energy shift, because it's very strong masculine and very strong feminine. So this will help to ground it down while balancing it so one doesn't overtake the other. And then lastly, this lovely metal, which is magnesium. This stuff is super light. It's very soft. Like it's only got a hardness of like 1 to 2.5. Anybody who's into health and wellness knows that magnesium is a very important supplement. It's used in over 300 different bodily functions. And from everything from our own physical energy production to muscle contraction, blood pressure, bone strength, inflammation, our immune system, calcium absorption. Energetically, it helps to fill the delicate, subtle energies of the body, lifting that spirit while helping you to maintain control. It helps to calm, detoxify the nervous system, helping you to get better sleep and even heal during your sleep. But more than that, people who are into chemistry a little bit know that magnesium is very flammable, like explosively flammable. And pyrite is known as a sparking stone, said to contain the spark of fire. So that is going to come in and kind of hit the magnesium energetically and have that energy get amplified. Whereas, so this is like another lighter version of the divine masculine, which is going to lift things up. Whereas like the Galena is almost acting like a grounder, but on the feminine side because it's working as a harmonizer. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see how this all plays out, because I don't even know how this is all going to be, because I haven't really worked with a lot of these together, but I've wanted to, so we'll see what happens. Galena. And then I'll say work 2. Okay, so we got 4, 4, 4. Kind of wondering if I even want to shift these down to 3, because if we are doing a dance, as I said, what better dance than a waltz to bring together that masculine and that feminine. We'll have that point to the fiery south. I'm liking what I'm picking up, kind of. So let's go down to shrink. Do it that way. Okay. This, yes. As you see, Galena usually comes in a quartz matrix like this. These ones have been usually cleaned off and taken from a larger specimen. Sometimes you get it with these cool, I think that's like some stillbite or something that it kind of grew in next within. It's very lovely. And it helps to give a little life to Galena and kind of pull away from the potential toxicity of it in a more metaphorical sense than a literal. And then sometimes you get these really cool clusters of the quartz, or this actually has pyrite. I think it's got some galena in there. It's hard to tell when it's dusty, but it also has some spherolite, which to even see that crystalline structure, I'd have to have this thing on like super zoomed macro, and we're just not gonna bother. It's not worry enough. Again, you got these clusters with just quartz and pyrite and all that loveliness. Okay, how's that looking? Okay. Alrighty. So we got that down, set to tango. Now, okay. Now, we can stick with these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, it's like I just don't really know what this is gonna do. It's like spin. Yeah, let's go like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like this one's going to be very open feeling. But at the same time, kind of hopefully fluid. Because I know how these things can sometimes get personalities and personas of their own. But let's just work with what we got. Yeah, it's very interesting to me how we're going from a very karmically driven cycle to one where it's like, hey, let's dance. Let's come back together. We got shaken up a little bit. You know, kind of felt like a Taylor Swift song for a minute. And then it's like moving on, because if it doesn't fit within that dance and you don't, and that, you know, sometimes what makes or breaks a connection is whether or not you found the right dance partner, you know? And ironically, that's very fitting for me. Trying to dance with the wrong partner. Set you there and go. Sometimes it's easy to forget that life is really just a dance. We're spinning and twirling and engaging and embracing all these people in their rawest of form, in a sense of true vulnerability. And it's all about kind of matching people where they're at. If you can't match your dance partner, then you're holding too high of an expectation, or they are. Because it's like, if somebody's better than the other, the better person needs to step back. Because you can't, because then otherwise you're expecting that other person to dance in rhythm and in time with you. It's like, okay, what if you've only ever learned how to polka your whole life, and then somebody's all of a sudden being like, hey, I want to do a salsa. It's like, those aren't quite the same. I'm not sure I know how that moves. You know, because I'm sure if you've seen any kind of dance shows, it's like some are very dramatic and everything's moving and shifting and flowing. Others, it's like half stoic. Like only part of the body's moving, but the other part is stiff like a statue. Which again, cool. Time and place. But it's like if you can't dance together, then you're not a match. Your energies aren't harmonized. But at the same time, that's okay. Don't gotta be perfect. If you expect everything to always be perfect, get ready to always be disappointed. That's why because it's a lot of what I dealt with recently, just hopes and dreams, and then people not living up to the dream of that or the expectation of that dream. Instead of, getting mad at myself for expecting somebody to be a fantasy. Like, hello? We aren't figments of our imagination. Some people try to say we are, but that's kind of dehumanizing and over glorifying of the self. It does fill in the spaces that we can find. There's luckily a little gap underneath here that I can just shove all these extra stones there, and no one's the wiser. Ugh. I just need to see if I got any space for these other guys, because I got two more. It's like this one needs to be here because it's heavy. There, put you down. You go like that. I keep it Madam of Galena, so I can set that like that. Mm-hmm. Now all this needs is a little ring around the outside. And what should that ring be made out of? Since I haven't done them in a little while, I think I'm going to grab kyanite. Mm-hmm. Those who know, kyanite is one of my favorite gritting stones. It's basically just an energy bridge. So whatever it's being worked with, it just connects together. A very soft and loving fashion. I'm sorry if I feel like it's just a little rushed today, but I am also a day late with building, and I have not been excited about this one since I remembered what it was, and there's been a lot of lacking in motivation and drive to particularly tap into this kind of work. I made a decision and stepped down into the basic three-dimensional world for a minute, and that sucked. And now trying to get back into this flow, into this world I've come into, has not necessarily been the easiest. Because for the longest time I had just been doing this without the need of validation or outside encouragement. But at the same time, it's nice to have. Like, I know I don't do a whole lot, and I don't get a whole lot of engagement, if any at all. But I'm doing this for reasons beyond myself and beyond other people, and even beyond words of explaining. But still, I keep doing this because it's my connection to the divine. And in that connection, I see it for this beautiful dance that it is. A waltz. A rumba. A simple ballroom dance. And I was dancing with the universe. And then tried to find or see if somebody else could also perform that dance. Momentarily they did. But then when it came to continuing or expanding, they fell short. And honestly, we both did. Having expectations that the other was unable to fulfill, having dreams that were not meant for the other person involved. But that's okay, because we can still dance another day. And with this, we will find our own dance partners. We will find that divine harmonious ignition of passion and power, confidence and love. Because you can dance alone. It's nowhere near as fun or fulfilling. But you can. And you can always dance with a stranger. And as long as you recognize that that flow may not be a permanent flow, you can still enjoy the moment. So as I come to grind this energy in, ground that within yourself, that desire, that freedom, that possibility to dance and become more. Because it is our time to dance. So grab your shoes, put on your fancy pants, and shake that booty. Just had a thought. Yeah, we can grab these. Let's see. I will go like there. Yes. God damn it. Stand, but don't lean on that. And now with the sacred smoke, we finish this session. This build of old. I grabbed the pipe at 44 minutes and 44 seconds. So this might be a dance of 3, but its foundation is in 4. We seal the deal in smoke. The grid is built. The pieces are set. the moon is full and beginning to wane. And thus the cycle begins. Join me, if you will, in this harmonious dance between the divine masculine and feminine. Until next month, have a lovely cycle.